Let's click on the stack bar chart, and a blank stack bar chart will be visible on the page. We can increase and decrease the size of the chart as per our requirement. Now look at the visualization pane. These are the field names for this chart. It is important to note that for categorical values, we'll take y-axis, and for x-axis, we will take numeric values. For example, if we want to show the total sales generated by each region, we'll drag the region on y-axis and the sales amount the x-axis field. Now go to the region table and expand it and drag the region y-axis. And now go to the sales order table and drag the sales amount on x-axis. And now we can see that our stack bar chart has started showing some values. We can see the region on y-axis. We can see the sales amount on x-axis. So we have successfully created our first chart, the stack bar chart. And now if you want to see the aggregated sum of sales for a particular region, then take the cursor on a specific bar and you can see the total sales generated by that region. So if we take our cursor on France, we can see the total sales generated by France. The same way, we can see the total sales generated by each region. By default, the total sales are not displayed for any region unless the cursor is hover over a specific region. To display the total sales or the number for each bar, go to the visualization pane and from here go to the format. And there we can see the data label. By default, this feature is turned off. Simply enable it. And now you can see the total sales generated by each region display on the bar. We can also change the display unit for this visual. To change the display unit, simply go to the data labels, expand it, and from there you can go to these values, and from there you will find this display unit, expand this, and now we can select the display unit as per our requirement. If you want to change it to 1000, simply select it 1000, and we can see that the display unit is changed to 1000. There are other formatting options. We can change the font of the unit, we can increase the size, we can make it bold, we can change the color, and so on. It is important to note that the display unit is showing the total of sales amount. But if we want to see the data for a particular year or month, or we want to see the data for a particular range, then we will have to use the filter option. To use the filter option, go to the visualization pane, from where you will have to select the slicer. And now in the field tab, we can drag the sales date. Simply select the sales date and drag on the, and we can see that we have a date range. And now we can select the date range, and whatever range we will select here, the data will be filtered basis the range we have selected. We can select the range from here also. Select any date range, input range, and select any output range, and your data will be filtered based on that. You can just give border to this visual also. Just select it and go to the pane, general, then go to effects. Now we can select the same, select this filter page. Here also we can select the. So this is how we can apply a filter to a visual, and we can see the data based on the criteria the filter we see. We can also sort the data on this relation chart. To sort the data, just click on the dots and now go to sort axis. And here we can select the sort order. By default, it is descending. You can change it to ascending as well. Right now, the data is sort on the sales amount in ascending order. Change it to ascending, and this is how it will. We can change. We can sort the data on categorical data as well. Simply select the region. The data is sort in alphabetical order. And now let's discuss the remaining fields available on this chart. The next field is legend. The legends are used to display the data using different colors. For example, the total sum of sales for the France region is approx 14 million for this range. But if you want to see the total sales generated by each category France within this range, then this total will be divided by category. For this, we will use legend. We will simply go to the product category table, and from here we will drag the category name and drag in legend. And now we can see the total sales generated by France region has been divided as per the different product categories. And the sales for each product category are divided a specific color. Because we have 4 product categories, we have 4 different colors for each one. Now let's discuss the stack column chart. Let's click on the stack column chart and resize it as per our requirement. These are the fields associated with the stack column chart. Scenario, we will drag the region on x-axis and the sales amount on y-axis. And this is how our stack column chart will look like. And we can see the total sales generated by each region on the stack column chart. Just like the stack bar chart, we can filter the data on the stack column chart using the date filter. And if we drag the color column for the product table, legends, how our stack column chart will look like. Our data, the total sales for each region will be displayed distinctly. Now let's see the difference between the stack bar chart and the stack column chart. In a stack column chart, the categorical data exists on y-axis and the numeric data exists on x-axis. For a stack column chart, the categorical data exists on x-axis and the numeric data exists on x. The difference of usage is how we use the x and the y-axis for both the chart. Now let's move on to discuss the cluster bar chart. Click on the cluster bar chart and we can resize it as per our requirement. Just like the stack bar chart, we can display the categorical data on the y-axis and the numeric data on the x-axis. We can simply drag the product category name from product category table on y-axis and the sales amount from the sales order table on the x-axis. And we can see that our cluster bar chart is ready. And here also we can use the slicer to filter the data. And now drag the region column from the region table, the legend field. Select the region column and drag it on the legend field. And now we can see that the total sales for each product has been divided in multiple clusters based on the different regions. So the beauty of the cluster bar chart is that it can represent the data by different clusters if any particular column is shown on the legend field. And now we can differentiate between the stack bar chart and the cluster bar chart. Both are bar charts, that's why the categorical data exists on the y-axis. But the difference is of legend. You can see that for the stack bar chart, the legends are showing in a single bar. That's why it is called as stack bar chart. But for the cluster bar charts, there are different clusters created for each region. And because of this cluster, this is known as cluster bar chart. This is the difference between stack bar chart and a cluster bar chart. Let's talk about the cluster column chart. Simply click on the cluster column chart and resize it. Just like the stack column chart, we can drag the categorical data on x-axis and the numeric data on y-axis. Simply we will drag the product category on x-axis and the sales amount on the y-axis. Because it is a cluster column chart, we can see the categorical data on the x-axis. And if we drag the region on the legends, we can see different clusters has been created for each bar. It is called as cluster column chart because the different clusters has been created on the x-axis. To differentiate between the stack column chart and the stack cluster column chart, you can see that we have different values in a single bar. That's why it is known as stack column chart. But for column cluster chart, we can see that we have created different clusters. Both are column charts. That's categorical data exists on the x-axis. And now about 100% stack bar chart and the 100% stack column chart. Let's click on the chart, drag the product category name on sales amount on x-axis. And now if we drag the region on legend, and now we can see the percentage contribution of each region in the overall product. So we can see that for the France it is 53. For Central it is 7.35. For Canada it is 7.19. Overall, the overall it is 100%, but the percentage has been divided as per the region. The difference between the 100% stack bar chart and the 100% stack column chart is that for 100% stack bar chart, the categorical data will be on the y-axis, and for the 100% stack column chart, the categorical data will be on the x-axis. So the categorical x for